Hello, and welcome. My name is Selin Bilgin. I am the founder of Luscious Living, where personal growth meets wellness. I am a holistic nutritionist specializing in women's hormone health and the author of the Painless Period Guide. Today, I am sharing a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. It is 10 ways to self-soothe, and it's something that comes up frequently in one-on-one sessions. And it's also something that I have dealt with and really navigated on my own journey. Especially if you look back on some photos of myself from a few years ago, you'll start to notice the difference. And it's really because I was struggling with self-soothing and binge eating and secretive eating and eating too much and also eating healthy food, but that were in the wrong quantities for me as well. And so I often use food as a way to cope with my emotions and deal with how I felt and the weight of the world and weight of my own thoughts. And so using these tools have transformed the way I look, the way that I feel, and same with the results that I have for my clients. And so I'm excited for you to implement some of these tools as well. So let's get started. The very first tip I have for you is to fill up your cup socially or in a solo manner. And this comes from my recent trip that I had in China, and I got back and I was quite depressed. I felt pretty low. I didn't know why. And then I started to analyze what are the times in my life that I've been the happiest and why. And those actually were the times that I lived in Argentina, when I was in university, and my recent China trip. And what I realized about all three of those moments is because I was around people frequently. And I honestly forget to spend time with friends and forget time to be social. I'm very focused on building my business. I'm focused on excelling in school. And for those of you who don't know, I am a student of traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture. And I also live with the love of my life, and I see family at least once a week. And that's really the common routine that I have. And when I came back, I realized that I needed to add more social time to my calendar. And, when I was in Argentina, I was around other students during the day and with my Argentinian friends, and in the evening. And at university, I was at school during the day, and then at night, I would walk down the hallway or down the stairs to see my friends. And so eating with other people, socializing, that filled up my cup in a way that I didn't really notice that I needed. And for those of us in the Western world, that can be something that we can isolate ourselves from without even knowing it. So that has helped me so much. And you'll notice that there are words like fulfill or fill up cup or fill up socially, whatever it is, because that is also very filling to us in a way that food can never be. But for yourself, you might notice that you are good at spending time with people, and it's really more about finding that time to decompress by yourself. And so, whatever it is that you need, I want you to give yourself that and schedule it in. And for most of us, we need a little bit of both. Okay. So, that is the very first tip. The second tip I have for you is to fill up your senses at home. And so, this can mean having, for example, what I like to have a beautiful mug that you drink your coffee or tea from, or a tray where you have your coffee and tea and maybe a book or a snack. Or maybe it's having artwork in your home or fresh flowers. It's having a beautiful scent from an incense or air diffuser or a candle, maybe having a cloth napkin or having a pretty plate. But I always say that these things, when there's beauty in our environment, that is very soothing to us. And a healthy woman is a relaxed woman. And beauty is also very relaxing. And so if you can, try to find those little ways that I call them, and this is not me making it up, but dopamine decor. Having those little bits and pieces of your home that make you feel good, that bring you joy, that bring you some dopamine in your day, then you don't seek it through food because you're already filled up with this beautiful feeling. And I know for me, these things, especially in the past, felt frivolous to me, where I already had a plain mug from IKEA. Why would I need a pretty mug? Why would I need another one? And of course, there's extremes here too. And I'm not talking about extremes, but it I had to listen to that part of myself, that feminine voice of, but it's pretty and it makes me feel good. And giving away whatever I don't need and not buying unnecessary things. I think there's a lot of that as well in the world, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's about having those beautiful elements that make you feel good and fill your senses at the dinner table, even if it's a snack that you're having in a pretty bowl and a cloth napkin. Okay. The other aspect of this, the third tip I have, is to beautify yourself. And if any of you have seen videos or photos of me from even a few years ago, I look very different and I have not had any procedures done. There's nothing wrong with that. But personally, it has really been through taking more and more care of my health and everything that I talk about on my channels and content. But it's also being able to invest in, you like your hair to be lighter, which is what I will personally do, or you like your eyebrows a certain way, or you do want a medical procedure, or you like having your nails done. Or one big thing for me was clothing. When I was really struggling with binge eating and being overweight, I did not have any clothes that I liked. And so I always felt uncomfortable leaving the house. I felt uncomfortable getting dressed. I felt uncomfortable being out of the house. So I never wanted to be out. And so many women are come to me to work with me one-on-one and say, I don't even want to be a certain size. I just want to fit into my jeans. But I also want you to know that if you need to buy a new pair of jeans in order to feel good when you do go out of the house, then you need to do that too. And what happens is when you buy a good piece of clothing, you can tailor it. And a lot of my clothes have been tailored over the years to be smaller and to really fit my frame. And so the key message here is to feel beautiful now, because when you don't feel good and you don't feel confident and you're just uptight and anxious and uncomfortable, and then you get home and then you do things that make you further feel uptight and anxious and uncomfortable because you're kind of like, F it anyways. I know I've been there. I'm definitely speaking from experience. And so if you need to buy a few pieces to really fit your style, and it might not be for your forever clothes or your forever style, but that really makes a huge, huge difference. And I encourage you to invest in yourself and feel beautiful because again, feeling beautiful is very relaxing, and a relaxed woman is a healthy woman. Okay. And this also goes into, say, doing a face mask. I like to do face masks with honey, olive oil, and sugar as a scrub, or you could do yogurt and honey, for example. And I know that's not for everyone, but you can go into Lush or HomeSense, wherever it is, and do a mask for yourself. If you do a deep conditioning hair treatment, if you are, just those little touches, those little soothing acts of love and kindness for yourself, a peppermint foot a lotion, something like that, a gua sha. These things are soothing, and I want you to do that, and therefore you fill up your cup in other ways. The fourth tip I have for you is to move your body. I know this is not anything crazy drastic from what you might have heard before, but it's really hard to feel comfortable in our body and in our mind if we're stagnant. And I find the times I'm the most anxious and need to be soothed and find myself reaching for food is when I'm bored or frustrated, or I haven't moved enough, I haven't left the house enough or at all. And so going for a 10-minute walk, doing a 10-minute yoga video, going to the gym, doing the Stairmaster, going on the treadmill, lifting some weights. I don't care what you do, but you do have to be moving your body in order to feel soothed and feel good in your skin. This is absolutely vital. And on my fitness journey, I started with going for 5-minute walks. 5-minute walks turned to 10 minutes. 10 minutes turned to 20. Now I will go for 2-hour walks. If obviously it's nice out, I do live in Calgary, but that also led to running 5 kilometers and doing a half marathon. It takes time and it adds up. There is no rush, but I want you to move your body. Okay. The fifth tip I have for you is to shower, because a shower feels amazing, but also to be a routine that you look forward to. So for me, I know that I used to pop in the shower just to get it done, and I wouldn't put on lotion. I just wanted to get the whole process out of there as fast as possible. I basically showered like a man. Okay. If I could have had a 3-in-1 or an 8-in-1 or whatever, I would have done it. But now I will, and even when I am in swamped, okay, I'm in school, I have all this, and I won't do every single part of it, but I will make sure that there is an element of a dry brush. I oil my hair the night before, and if I forgot to do the night before, I'll do it the morning of. I will make sure that there's a candle going, that there's a body scrub that I've made or purchased. You can have a eucalyptus wreath hanging from your shower, fake or real flowers in your bathroom, having good lighting, incense, having a nice luxurious bath towel or robe, having a nice thick lotion to put on your skin, or maybe it's a body oil. I want you don't have to do, again, all of this, but I want you to pick something that you do. And just the act of putting lotion on your skin is so soothing. Touching your body, allowing yourself to have smooth skin. And again, I'm speaking to my past self because I never used to do that. I would never put on lotion. And it is very soothing to do so. And then you start to feel better and better and better and rely less and less on food to bring you joy and comfort. And speaking of joy, I recently had a realization that just because I like a food a lot does not mean I have to eat a lot of it. I can enjoy it by slowing down and savoring it, but it doesn't mean that I have to eat a lot of it to show that I enjoy it. Okay, so that's a little side bonus tip there. The sixth tip I have for you is to have your movie or snack night, your TV night, also luxurious in whatever way that means for you. Because for me, a lot of time going out or watching a movie meant that's just when I gorge. Okay, versus the main event is not the food. And again, my profession is about food, and so I think about food a lot. But that could mean that you fill your senses in terms of you have the candle going, you might be in a robe, you might have, a cozy blanket, you might have, I've been loving, Costco has these frozen strawberries covered in chocolate. Amazing, but you can make that at home yourself as well. Because I used to just like plop on the bed, plug my laptop in, and literally plop and just like watch something and not even take my makeup off yet, not even put on pajamas yet. And then by the end of the night, I'm like, I don't want to do it. But if you do all that ahead of time, and then while I'm watching the movie, I'm gua shaing my face, I'm, enjoying the sense of the candle, whatever it is. And it's not about the food. It's not food centered. It's about the whole experience. And I feel like an absolute queen while I do it. And a queen does not need food to self-soothe because she has other tools. Food is just a part of it. Okay. The seventh tip I have is to physically release tension in the body. I never realize how much tension I'm holding until I take a lacrosse ball to my shoulders and I mentally feel better. And so, for example, if you don't have a lacrosse ball, first of all, please make sure you get one. It can be life-changing. It's just like a hard ball that you get, and you can roll your feet on it. I like to put my back against the wall with the lacrosse ball and like just dig my shoulders in, or on the floor, dig in to my glutes or to my calves or again, my back. And it relieves so much tension. It's so soothing. And again, then you just find yourself more and more relaxed naturally. And when you do eat, it's not that you're overcompensating for anything. It's just that you're enjoying your food, you're hungry, etc. And so a foam roller is also a huge game changer. I highly recommend a good quality one, not just any one, because it just doesn't feel the same. Watching a YouTube video, that can be game changing. Okay, so foam roller, lacrosse ball, If you don't have any of those right now, a golf ball on your feet. Yin yoga, I find yin yoga to be quite annoying, and it's because I need it. It's very slow, and I'm a very fast-paced person. And so that can also be really, really, really healing. I actually just went to a beautiful yin yoga class a few months ago, right before I left for my trip, and I just felt like a different woman after. The eighth tip I have for you is to make or create something. As women, we are designed to create, and when we're not creating, it can actually start to impact our mood. It can feel depressing to not create. And so this could be a pottery class that you go to, an art class. It could be that you create sourdough bread. It could be that you crochet something. I want you to be in creation mode, because when we are in consumption mode, especially if it's on social media, it can really create a lot of anxiety. It can exacerbate ADHD symptoms. It can make you feel overstimulated. And so when you are doing the opposite, when you're creating, you're adding value, you are manifesting, that is also a great way to self-soothe. And it doesn't have to be, again, I'm not saying like when you are feeling anxious, it's scheduling these things in your calendar so that there is more of a buffer between you not feeling good, having the food as the trigger, or that's the trigger, and then having food as a stimulus. It's like you're creating space within yourself because you're also busy and you're not focused on food. And that's actually what can really get us in the evening. I know for myself as well. Then the ninth tip I have is to tackle what you've been putting off. I know for me, nothing gives me more anxiety than putting things off that I know I need to be doing. And so a great way to, again, it will create maybe some anxiety to face what you need to face. But if it's tackling your finances, it's paying your taxes, it's studying, it's creating content, it's writing an email, whatever it is, facing it will always be more soothing. And sometimes it's about parenting ourselves to do the thing that we know to do. We don't want to do it, but that in itself is going to move the needle forward and be extremely soothing, because I know procrastination can be a reason that we eat as well. The 10th tip I have for you is to journal. And while you have probably heard this before, this is my absolute favorite tool to do when I am feeling overstimulated. I am not feeling soothed at all. And especially, for example, up until a few days ago, I was feeling sad girl summer after I got back from my trip, and I hated it. I was like, I just had the most amazing trip of my life. Why am I sad? I want to get over this. And so I journaled it. And I journaled out that I was feeling sad. And because a lot of people say like, okay, Selin, I don't know where to start. What do I journal? Start with, I'm feeling mad. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling depressed, whatever it is. Start with how you're feeling and just give yourself the space on the pages to share it and brain dump it. I know for me, just the other day when I was feeling super anxious, I wrote what would make me feel less anxious. And it was a list of things that I needed to tackle that I had been putting off. And so that instantly, like getting it out of my brain on paper, having a clear list was so helpful. And then I didn't need to procrastinate by eating. Okay. And the other journaling prompt I love to do, and I talk about this all the time, is future self visioning. I want you to start to think about yourself tomorrow or a month from now or 6 months from now and look at how do you dress? How does your ideal version take care of herself? What are her nighttime routines? What's her period routine? What's her evening routine? What kinds of books do you want to read? And that I've done over and over and over and over again. And it is something I will always do over and over and over again because it helps pull me out of my rut over and over and over again. It is so absolutely vital. And the last bonus tip that I have for you to soothe your nervous system and soothe yourself without food is actually food, but that's looking at not more so on a daily basis, okay? And that's going to be first and foremost looking at vitamin C. You do not need to supplement with vitamin C unless you're perhaps traveling, but vitamin C rich foods are going to be really important for the nervous system and your adrenals. These are foods like citrus fruits, So oranges, limes, lemons, grapefruit. This is also foods that are going to be like kiwis, tomatoes, cherries, strawberries. Really, really important to get these foods into your diet every single day. The other aspect of this is healthy fats. Healthy fats from avocados, from grass fed butter, from olives, olive oil are a great way to soothe the nervous system. You actually physically need healthy fats. The nervous system, the myelin sheath, is made out of fat. So you actually need to make sure you have vitamin D and cod liver oil. I'm a huge fan of to really coat this myelin sheath to really help your nervous system actually wire properly. And of course, there are certain herbs that can help. I do not recommend taking herbs if you are not working with a health practitioner because they can be too heating or too stimulating for you and not really work. So there are herbs that you can take that are going to be soothing for the nervous system. Rhodiola, ashwagandha, even something like reishi, for example, can be very, very wonderful allies on that journey. Of course, if you do want one-on-one support, I would be more than happy to connect, and you can do so by booking a 20-minute consult in the link below. So there you have 11 tips to self-soothe that don't require drinks and alcohol unnecessarily. Of course, these are part of a normal and healthy life as well. And for some people, again, maybe the drinking part is not a part of their life, and that's okay. So I am not talking about extremes here, but really looking at how can we self-soothe on a daily basis so that we have less episodes of binge eating, of going off the rails, of using food to self-soothe. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Send me a message on Instagram. I have that all linked below for you as well. And if you would like to learn more about the Painless Period Guide, please click the link below. And I would love to have more women in the world feeling great about their periods. It's actually the first day of mine today. And yeah, feeling good. All right, my loves. Thank you for tuning in. I cannot wait to see you next time and have a wonderful rest of your day. Mwah.